Mr. President, can you explain why you did not condemn those hate groups by name over the weekend?
They've been condemned. They have been condemned.
And why are we not having a press conference today? You said on Friday we'd have a press conference.
We had a press conference. We just had a press conference.
Can we ask you some more questions, sir?
It doesn't bother me at all, but I like real news, not fake news. You're fake news. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Hat, and welcome to Hat's Guerrilla Channel. I've got a breaking story for you. Let's just get right to it. This is in the Daily Caller, reported by Justin Caruso. Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein said at a press conference Friday that no American was a quote-unquote knowing participant in the Russian efforts to influence the 2016 election as detailed in the DOJ's Friday indictment of 13 Russian nationals. Let's watch a clip of that press conference as played on CNN.
For the election.
What I've identified for you are the allegations in the indictment. There's no allegation in the indictment of any effect on the outcome of the election. Jessica.
On page 4 of the indictment, paragraph 6, it specifically talks about the Trump campaign, saying that defendants communicated with unwitting individuals associated with the Trump campaign. My question is, later in the indictment, campaign officials are referenced, not by their name, by campaign official 1 or 2 or 3. Were campaign officials cooperative, or were they duped? What was their relationship with this?
Again, there's no allegation in this indictment that any American had any knowledge. And the nature of the scheme was that the defendants took extraordinary steps to make it appear that they were ordinary American political activists, even going so far as to base their activities on a virtual private network here in the United States. So if anybody traced it back to that first jump, they appear to be Americans. Catherine.
One more question. Have you had any assurances from the Russians that they will provide these individuals for prosecution?
And there you have it. No Americans knowingly colluded with Russians. None. And this is from Mueller, folks. This is not some separate little congressional investigation. This is the Russian collusion probe that we have been being beaten over the head with for over a year now. This puts the nail in the coffin, in my opinion. They have 13 Russian nationals rolled up in this, proven that they worked inside the United States, so there was no international traffic that anyone could have pointed to and said, these people are acting from outside of the U.S. This was a very well-run and very well, I'm guessing, scripted operation. Again, no American campaign officials, none, knowingly acted with these people as they're being Russian nationals and pushing a Russian national agenda. Not Trump, not Manafort, not Page, not Papadopoulos, none of them. We've got the Russians, folks. Yes, it happened. We knew that the Russians were pushing around on the 2016 election. We've had those stupid Facebook ad stories. We've had those stupid Twitter ad stories. None of those stories proved that there was any positive effect on the election. We don't know how much effect these actors, these 13 Russian actors, had on the election, but they've been caught. The next thing to find out is if we're going to be able to prosecute them in the U.S., if the Russians will turn them over. I'm guessing probably not, but we'll have to wait and see. I'm just going to read the rest of this article so we can get down on the page exactly what we're talking about. A reporter noted that on page 4 of the indictment, paragraph 6, it specifically talks about the Trump campaign, saying that defendants communicated with unwitting individuals associated with the Trump campaign. Notice the words there, unwitting individuals. There was no known collusion. To continue, my question is, later in the indictment, campaign officials are referenced not by their name, by campaign official 1, 2, or 3, she continued. Were campaign officials cooperative or were they duped? What was their relationship with this? Rosenstein answered, there is no allegation in the indictment that any American was a knowing participant in the alleged unlawful activity. And there is again, no American was a knowing participant. There is no allegation in the indictment that the charged conduct altered the outcome of the 2016 election. It can't be stated more clearly than that. First of all, no collusion. No knowing collusion. All right, we've got that out of the way. And then, no allegation in the indictment that charged conduct altered the outcome of the 2016 election. So again, the Facebook stories, the Twitter stories that went on and on about how the Russians threw the election for Trump, how they pushed narratives to get the Republicans on top. Complete and utter nonsense. This shows that those stories were bogus. This shows that those stories had nothing to do with actual election results. An internal Twitter document proved this, but did the legacy media report on it? No, of course not. So what does this mean for the legacy media? CNN, MSNBC, The Washington Post, The New York Times, all of them, they were up to their necks in this. They lied continuously. They are nothing more than mouthpieces for the DNC and for Hillary, who really is the DNC, so why even make a distinction? Even though she cost them $1.2 billion, threw away an entire election because she doesn't know how to campaign, because she didn't care about people, she only cared about identities. But still, the legacy media is blown out of the water. Their credibility has been sinking for years now, but this is it. They have placed everything they've got on Russian collusion. They've been trying to back off on it for the past week or so, but they couldn't let it go. They had to keep hammering away at it. The latest talk about one of the Trump campaign people maybe making a deal with the FBI. Oh my God, he's going to open up. He's going to blow the lid right off of it. That's what they said about Manafort. That's what they said about Page. That's what they said about Papadopoulos. Look what happened. Nothing came of it. But they reported it breathlessly, day after day after day, leading with it, making huge segments about it, bringing on panelists. Philip Mudd is over. Malcolm Nance is over. I told you before in a video that I did on my main channel, AHNC All Hat No Cattle, that Malcolm Nance was a functioning retard, and this proves it. His book was built on nothing but lies and conjecture and fantasy. I'd like to see how Joy Reid handles him from now on, if she still basically performs fellatio on him every time he shows up. Rachel Maddow's finished. And let's not forget Crying Don Lemon, who comes as close to a diversity hire as anyone I could ever think of, who again will scream, no, 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 as a real panelist tells him the truth about the Russian collusion crap he's been pushing all this time. Cuomo, gone. Jim Acosta, exposed for the hack he really is. Mika and Joe, sunk like the Titanic. They're going to have to start hoping there are more school shootings. God forbid, I don't want that to happen, but that's what they need to distract from the complete mess that they've made for themselves, for the fact that they have thrown away any chance they ever had at being credible, any chance they ever had at getting their stature as news people back up into something a little bit over Congress. No, they're done. They are completely kaput. And it couldn't have happened to a greater group of jerks and other names that I'm trying not to use because I'm trying not to curse on this channel. But my goodness, I would love to let loose some sailor talk right now about the legacy media. They are dinosaur dirt now. They are going to create such a layer in the soil that in 1,000 years, they're going to become oil. They're worthless. And I say it's about time. Good riddance to bad rubbish. Burn, 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 all of you. And most importantly, the lies from the Hillary campaign, from the DNC, that Trump was cozying up with the Russians and colluding with them to throw the election in his favor. That was a bunch of total crap made up by the DNC, made up by the Clinton campaign in order to throw suspicion off of the fact that they were running a terrible campaign and that they were going to lose to Donald Trump. Hillary Clinton, supposedly the most qualified person to ever run for president. I have a quibble with that. I think George W.H. Bush was more qualified than her, but never mind. Still, she lied. The campaign lied. It's there in black and white. You can throw the Democratic Party right out the window now. They are done. Finishing up. This stunning admission both seemingly clears the Trump campaign from accusations of collusion with Russia and puts a stop to the idea that President Trump won the election due to Russian interference. 13 Russians were indicted by special counsel Robert Mueller Friday. This is the Mueller investigation, as I said before. This is not some adjunct bit of investigation. This is the Mueller probe, and the Mueller probe states there was no allegation that the charged conduct altered the outcome of the 2016 election, and there is no allegation in the indictment that any American was a knowing participant in the alleged unlawful activity. That's it, folks. It's done. It's over. Thank you very much. Share this video wherever you can. Please visit my Maker support page listed in the description. Like and subscribe if at all possible. Until next time, be well, and as always, thank you for your attention.
Oh, that was a good one.